There was once a rose that grew from concrete. Throughout this journey, you will find yourself in unfamiliar environments. Some days you may grasp the material easily, and others you will be completely confused. Don't be afraid to be confused. Lean on your brother or sister for help. Find ways to better yourself in any way, shape, or form. In these situations, you will be forced to learn, adapt, and grow to be the greatest version of yourself. Turn up, class of 2019.
I love you. I'm proud of you. I'll never forget you. I'm so glad I met each of you. And if you ever need to be reminded that you are enough, that you are beautiful, that you are family, that you are strong, and most of all, that you are loved, stop by the village at 2585 Brightside. I promise you, one of us will be there to remind you of your greatness. Rise in power, children. It's your time. Love, peace, blessing, and favor be upon your lives. Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations to the class of 2019.
Please pause for a moment of thankfulness. We give thanks for this day. We are grateful for all of you who have taken your time out your day to participate in such an unforgettable celebration. We are thankful for our personal growth, physically, mentally, and academically. We are grateful for the moments that we have shared, the ups, the downs, and also the relationships and bonds that we have established. We are thankful for our administration, teachers, mentors, coaches, families, and friends, and also our community supporters who have given so much so that we may graduate today. Sorry, y'all, my eyes not working right now. We appreciate you for encouraging us, keeping us focused, and giving us the tools that we need so that this day is possible. May this graduation day be memorable. May this graduation day be a memorable celebration that we will forever hold in our hearts as we each proceed down our life's path. In your name, amen. Amen.
Please remain just standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will have opening remarks in recognition of special guests by the Executive Director of Thrive Academy, Ms. Sarah Bloom.
Good evening, everyone. It is my profound pleasure to welcome you parents, students, family, and community guests to the first ever graduation of Thrive Academy seniors. I'd also like to take a moment and acknowledge the elected officials who are here with us today. We have Bessie Board Member Loree Thompson and East Baton Rouge Parish School Board President Mike Goday. Thank you for joining us today. And lastly, and most importantly, to our graduating seniors, I am so overwhelmed and grateful to be standing on the stage with you today. They are and have always been an incredibly special class, and if you don't believe me, ask them, they will tell you that. You were the first to do everything, and you taught us along the way. You were the first that we had sleep overnight, and you taught us that 6th graders still sometimes need nightlights. You were the first to go on a camping trip, and you taught us that no matter how much you complain about things beforehand, you actually really like new experiences. You were the first to be allowed to have cell phones on campus, and you taught me to want to break the internet forever. And now you're the first to graduate, and you have one lesson left to teach us, and that's how to say goodbye to you. I'm not sure how it's possible to feel like something took an eternity to get here and also happened in the blink of an eye, but it does. About 18 years ago, the lives of everybody in this room were changed the day you were born. For some people, like your parents and family, they knew it right away. And for others of us, we'd have to wait years before we would meet you. But the moment you entered this world, you changed our lives for the better. While we often think about high school graduation as a celebration of high school, it's actually a graduation of the entirety of the time that you have spent on the earth thus far. We are here today to celebrate the day you were born and your first steps. To celebrate the first time you got on the school bus, every A on every paper, every science fair, every ribbon you ever won. To celebrate basketball tournaments, field days, report cards, and even the detentions. We're here to celebrate every person who has held your hand and dried your tears and laughed at your jokes and walked by your side. And to celebrate the people who shed their own blood, sweat, and tears to help you get to this stage. And I know most of us have done all three. And selfishly and in particular, we are here to celebrate the day someone called you about a school called Thrive, and you said yes. We're here also to celebrate our hopes and dreams for your future, to joyfully imagine the next steps and the people that you are going to become, to think about all the people who you will encounter and whose lives you will change forever, as you have changed ours. In sum, we are all here to celebrate how much we love you. And I want you to take a moment and take that in, that there are 800 people in this auditorium to celebrate how much we love 18 of you. On behalf of the faculty and staff, we are thankful for every moment of every day that we have spent with you. And we are so excited to see what you do next, because we know it's going to be absolutely incredible.
This is the day we've all been waiting for. To our principal, Ms. London Moore, our assistant principal, Ms. Kim Williams and Ms. Erica Wisham, our residential director, Mrs. Shawana Pierce, our assistant residential directors, Mr. Cody Harrelson and Mr. Larry Mauner, honored guests, Thrive Academy faculty and staff, parents, guardians, friends, and last but not least, our class sponsor, Ms. Kadra Ellis, and the executive director of Thrive Academy, Ms. Sarah Bloom. I, Pierre Brown, on behalf of the inaugural graduating class of Thrive Academy, welcome you to our commencement exercises. Thank you all for taking the time to be a part of our graduation ceremony. High school has been an unforgettable journey that has prepared us for life. These years have involved some of the most memorable moments of our lives. Individually, our experiences here are unique. This is a unique place. But together, we share a common bond as members of the class of 2019. Soon to be the first graduates of Thrive Academy. I am filled with excitement as the next stage in our lives is about to begin. But without all of your support, we may have not have made it to this day. You have been there for us since the beginning, guiding us, helping us, and watching us grow. This day is just as much yours as it is ours. So once again, you are truly appreciated. Thank you for coming. As the first graduating class, we have the unique opportunity of beginning tradition. Starting this year, Thrive Academy's graduating class will present the Mr. Regno Award of Excellence to one faculty or staff member who most amplifies the quality Mr. Regno displays while a teacher at Thrive Academy. These characteristics are compassion, creativity, and joy. At this time, Malik Allen will present the Mr. Regno Award of Excellence.
For those of you who don't know, Bernadette Terregno was a teacher at Thrive Academy, and in 2015 she was in a very bad car accident and remains critically injured to this day. While we continually pray for her recovery and wish she could be here with us today, we are honored to have her sister Annette help us present this award. And I'm going to ask Annette to join us on stage.
Good evening. I was very close to Mr. Regno, so this is especially difficult for me, so I'll get right to it. Together, the senior class decided that the 2019 recipient of the Mr. Regno Award of Excellence is Ms. Corey Perkins.
Don't cry. Don't cry, baby girl.
Has been filled with amazing highs and unforgettable lows. At this time, Brianna Shropshire will present senior reflections of the class of 2019. Marina Woods with the poem presented to the senior class.
And I am the 2019 Miss Thrive. Thrive Academy has left a lasting impression on me. As I think back on all of the memories, I can't help but smile with joy. I remember when we tried to have a junior skip day. It was an epic fail. Some of our classmates, Keith and Jamie, were afraid to skip. So they went to school totally messing up our plans. Miss Hollins awarded them for not skipping with food. But it's okay. They missed out on some run. Good boiled crawfish. I also remember at Old Thrive, y'all know the one on Government Street? Yeah. We had a huge food fight. It was a very slippery situation. No one can forget when one of our classmates ran across the field because he got Germ-X in his eye. Who can forget the wonderful Miss Perkins, who threatened to get the belt when we did something wrong? But she's the same person who always had new and exciting activities every single day. Anyone who can make math easy and simple has a special gift. The ring ceremony was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Ms. Moore and Ms. Broom, for always going the extra mile for us. We definitely can't leave out Miss Williams, who has won our heart with tough love. We remember the college trips Miss Wisham took us on. I promise if I had to walk one more campus, I would faint. Thank you, Ms. Pierce and the team for looking out for anything we need. I would like to give a special thanks to Ms. Torregno for also making math so fun and easy. To my class, we've had a lot of laughs, tears, and arguments. I've known many of y'all for
It's okay. Finish. You want me to finish? Want me to finish?
I've known many of y'all for too long. We know way too much about each other. Today is the start to our new lives. Today is the start to our new lives, and I wish each...
Almost finished. Almost finished. Finish it out.
Today is the new start to our new lives, and I wish each of you all the best life has to offer. Cherish this moment forever because we'll never be together like this again. Kill heaven and my reigner. I ain't going nowhere, so get used to seeing me. We will always be family, and I will always love you all. Congratulations, we are here and we made it.
We're done, but being done doesn't mean you're finished just yet. We've been through a lot and we have done our best. Our requirements have all been met. We know that there's a journey to life in order for us to live for the best. For this reason, we must keep climbing and never settle for anything less. Graduation is here and we finally come far, a journey of painful and joyful times. We'll create the story we'll always tell of our experience here at Thrive. Of course, in our living, of our leaving, we must admit that there is a bit of sorrow, but when the future calls collect, we'll pay the cost to have a brighter tomorrow. Therefore, we conclude that this is the end and not final, a great milestone here today. We don't take it for granted, all the work it took, so today we celebrate. We pledge to continue to reach for success in all we do and say. May we never forget that we are here, graduates of Thrive Academy.
Thank you, classmates. That was beautiful. We wanted our graduation to be personal to us, so instead of bringing in someone as the keynote speaker, we decided to stay within the family. Dr. Courtney Brown. Dr. Brown is a National Writing Project consultant, educator, lecturer, and curriculum specialist. This multi-award-winning author is nationally recognized for her scholarship and research. Just recently, she was nominated for the Distinguished Dissertation of the Year Award for phenomenal work that is currently in publication with the Lexington Books. In case you don't know, that's a really big deal. She's an adjunct professor at LSU, where she received her doctorate in education, curriculum, and instruction. Now to address the 2019 graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Dr. Courtney Brown.
Good evening, everyone. To the community of educational stakeholders, administrators, partners, government officials, family members, and friends who comprise a diverse body of believers in Thrive's children, I greet you tonight in divine love. Last but not least, to the first graduating class of Thrive Academy, the class of 2019. Come on, you can do better than that. The first class? All right. I am absolutely honored to have been chosen to be your keynote speaker. Of the many outstanding moments in my life and professional career, this one will always fill me with pride and joy and elation. Now, as a foundational disclaimer, I have to warn you, I want to ground the next few moments in time with full disclosure that the graduates and I know each other intimately. We know each other's quirks and idiosyncrasies. For example, they know that my favorite movie is The Color Purple, that I can always be bribed with chicken, and that I repeat, cannot be given too much sugar because I am already super, super hyper, and adding sugar to that will result in me doing absolutely too much. They know these things about me, just like I know that they like music playing in the background while they work. They enjoy presentations and projects. They enjoy assignments that allow for intense competition. They like making connections between what they're reading and current topics. And my, how the class of 2019 loves to celebrate. We literally celebrated everything. It's Tuesday, let's have canes. Or happy Friday Eve, let's have McDonald's for breakfast. We have had so many profoundly impactful moments. So many funny, I can't breathe because I'm laughing so hard moments. So many, this is so heart-wrenching, I don't know how I'm gonna make it moments that there is not enough time to adequately describe them all. This limitation considered, my aim and purest desire on your special day is to leave you with the words that I do have to encourage you and all who have come to share with you tonight to witness this occasion with 5 things that I learned from the class of 2019. 5 things that I learned from the class of 2019. Because I thought I was teaching you. But the truth is, unknowingly, you were teaching me. And the teacher became the student. The first thing that the class of 2019 taught me was you are enough. You are enough. When I started teaching at Thrive, I began as a 6th and 7th grade teacher after having only taught elementary school. As a matter of fact, 2 of you I have known since elementary school. I moved from 6th to 7th to then 9th and 10th grade, and from there 11th. Teaching secondary English language arts was a whole new world for me. But even though it was new and I was constantly evolving, you showed up, paid attention most times, and chose to learn from me every day. You learned to get excited about the things I got excited about, just because it was me, even if it meant you had to read the Scarlet Letter or do a writing assignment. When it came down to selecting your keynote speaker, I am fully aware that you could have chosen anybody. Someone more famous, somebody with more status or clout, but you chose me. Little did you know, the day that I was asked to be your speaker, I didn't feel enough. I was having one of those days that we all encounter where we feel like we don't matter, like we don't count, or that nothing we've ever done will ever make a difference. That day, with just a simple gesture of your choice, I was reminded that my enoughness, yes, I made up that word, my enoughness did not come from the outside, but was an inside job. And I say to you, class of 2019, you being enough does not come from what you do, but whom you are. Sometimes you won't feel enough. You wonder if you know enough, if you have enough resources, if you've studied enough or given enough. Always remember on those days that everything you'll ever need to prosper is already on the inside of you. Even on your worst day, there is no one, and I mean absolutely no one, who can beat you at being you, because there's only one of you. The second thing that I learned from the class of 2019 was you are beautiful. You are beautiful. There was not a day that passed that Kia didn't come walking down the breezeway for class that she didn't greet me with, "Hey, beautiful," or "Good morning, beautiful." Whether the sun was shining, or it was raining, or it was cold, whether she was angry or happy or sick, she consistently greeted me the same way every day. In those moments, I would often be reminded of the age-old adage, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This is because many of those days, y'all, I didn't feel beautiful at all. Especially during the time of the flood and its lengthy recovery process, when I was wearing donated clothes, going home to open walls, and trying to keep on keeping on. Beautiful? Life looked anything but beautiful. I felt anything but beautiful. But you reminded me that beauty, like enoughness, was an inside job. That beauty exists within and then radiates to the outside. So today I remind you of your own lesson. Even in the ugliest of situations where you may encounter colorism, bias, prejudice, unforgiveness, loss, frustration, disappointment, and failure in its many forms, tell yourself, I am beautiful. And although this situation may not be, eventually I'll grow through it. Not only did I learn that I was enough and that I was beautiful from the class of 2019, the third thing I learned was you are family. You are family. When one of you hurt, all of you hurt. When one of you got in trouble, Lord help us, all of you got in trouble and would even take the consequences for one another. When one of you achieved something, you all celebrated as if it was your own accomplishment. You fought like siblings and then made up. And interestingly enough, you would engage in conflict with one another in 1 minute. But if anything or anyone from the outside tried to infiltrate or challenge your squad or your unit, you knew how to drop those petty arguments, come together and stand united. Don't ever lose that. Together we stand, divided we fall. If we win, we're going to win together. If one of us falls, as a family, we must ensure that that same one is restored. We rise together. We make it together. We celebrate together because none of us has every gift, every ability, and every talent. We need one another because where one of us is weak, the other might be strong. We can only be great when we all are great together. We can dispel more darkness if we all shine brightly as diamonds in the midnight sky. We can all make an impact as a family, each member doing his or her part excellently. The fourth thing that the class of 2019 taught me was, you are strong. You are strong. At the time that I was your classroom teacher, I was working full-time, working on my doctorate full-time, raising my teenage son full-time, caring for my disabled mother, and restoring my house. It was your kindness, your consistency, and your tenacity as students that gave me courage and bravery. You showing up ready to read complex text at 7:25 in the morning made me feel like a superhero. You made me feel like every struggle had meaning and value, and that no matter what was going on, I was strong enough to get through it. Heaven Jones, thank you for asking me every day how the house was coming along and if I was all right. And children, I want to publicly thank you for pushing me through my dissertation because my first process got delayed. I couldn't quit because you were counting on me to finish what I started, and together we did just that. Your fortitude, your endurance, your ability to withstand your personal obstacles as well as those that come with the territory of being trailblazers. You do know that you're trailblazers, right? History makers, the first graduating class of a public boarding school, because you were trailblazers. Many will benefit from your sacrifices in the path that you laid from old Thrive to new Thrive and now into our new school building. When things get rough for you, as they sometimes will, and you want to give up and throw in the towel and quit, remember that you are strong. You have overcome innumerable obstacles to achieve what seemed impossible. You have beaten the odds, although they were stacked against you. You are brave and you are courageous. You can make it. No matter what you're facing and no matter what's facing you, you are strong enough, courageous enough, and brave enough to get through it. Finally, it is a wise saying that now abideth these three: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. The last and most important thing that the class of 29 taught me was, you are loved. You taught me that I was unequivocally, inextricably, irrevocably, unconditionally loved. No matter what shape or state I was in, whether you agreed with my decisions or not, whether you wanted to write my papers or not, whether you wanted to take my tests or not, you loved me. And today, class of 2019, I want you to know that you too are loved. There's nothing you could ever do to change it or cause it to dissipate on your good days and your bad days. When you've given maximum effort, or on those days when you've done just enough to get by. When you are given great accolades, or when there is no external validation at all, know that you are unequivocally, inextricably, irrevocably, unconditionally loved. Class of 2019, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'll never forget you. I'm so glad I met each of you. And if you ever need to be reminded that you are enough, that you are beautiful, that you are family, that you are strong, and most of all, that you are loved, stop by the village at 2585 Brightside. Send an email, make a phone call. I promise you, one of us will be there to remind you of your greatness. Rise in power, children. It's your time. Love, peace, blessing, and favor be upon your lives. Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations to the class 2019.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. There are many outstanding members of class of 2019. It's time they have their just dues. Beginning the presentation of special recognition is our principal, Ms. London Moore, followed by Brigadier General John Dunlap of the Louisiana National Guard. Special presentations will continue with our assistant principals and assistant residential director, Ms. Kim Williams, Mr. Cody Harrison, and Mrs. Erica Wisham, and Mr. Larry Miner.
Dr. Brown, as always, thank you for taking us to church today. You are a blessing. You are a blessing. Good evening. Good evening. I am so excited to see you all here today. And to the class of 2019, you know you're my heart, and I'm going to try to get through this without crying, Ms. Pierce. So I have the wonderful pleasure today of recognizing some of the outstanding accomplishments of the class of 2019. When I think about the students that we're about to recognize, I think about a quote from President Barack Obama. President Obama said, "The future rewards those who press on." I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. These students in the class of 2019 have done just that. They have pressed on. They have not let circumstance, the opinions of others, setbacks, or anything else stand in their way. And today, we are going to honor their achievements for their unwavering commitment to themselves. Every single one of these young people has forever touched my heart and made me a better person, and I will forever be humbled and honored to have known each of you. I know that you're going to accomplish great things in the future as you press on to college and career. The first special recognition that we will be honoring today are the students that participated in our CTE program. These are students that, in addition to their regular courses, decided to immerse themselves in learning a trade. At Thrive, we value students being college and workforce ready, not college or workforce ready. A big thank you to Mr. Boudreau and Ms. Ned for making this vision of college and career come to life. It is because of the value that we place on college and career that we will be celebrating those who participated with white cords. Will the following students please stand and be recognized? Malik Allen, welding. Asia Barrett, Allied Health. Ron Bell, Welding. Kia Brown, Allied Health. Isaiah Conrad, Welding. Jalen Davis, Allied Health. Lakeitha Jenkins, Allied Health. Heaven Jones, Allied Health. R.C. Jones, Welding. Brandon Ray, Allied Health. Marquedrick Reams, Welding. Brianna Shropshire, Allied Health. And Morena Woods, Allied Health. Families, please give them a round of applause. Students, you may be seated. The next group of students that we will be recognizing are students who realize that potential is not an endpoint, but rather the capacity to learn and grow. These students have always pushed themselves to learn and grow and will be graduating with the blue cord, signifying honors with a 3.6 to a 4.0 grade point average. Will the following students please stand? Ron Bell and Miss Kia Brown. Families, please give these students a round of applause. Thank you, students. You may be seated. This next group of students we will be recognizing are students who had their mind set on achievement and allowed themselves the opportunity to get it done. These students will be graduating with the red cord, signifying distinction, which is a 3.0 to a 3.59 grade point average. Will the following students please stand and be recognized? Marquedrick Reams and Reginald Williams. Thank you, students. You may be seated. At Thrive Academy, family always comes first. We are a family on our best days and equally on our worst days. Some of our seniors here at Thrive have been part of this family for 6 or more years. They walked with us from 1120 Government Street and now await graduation before you today. These are the students that founded Thrive. These are the students that will forever be the foundation of the school, and we are grateful for them and for their families for taking a chance on an idea and turning it into a legacy. One of the greatest uses of life is to spend it on something that will outlast you. These students have done just that. These students wear the orange cord. Will the following students please stand? Malik Allen. Ron Bell. Kia Brown. Isaiah Conrad. Jalen Davis. Lakeitha Jenkins. Heaven Jones. Cameron Knighton. Brandon Ray, Brianna Shropshire, and Reginald Williams. Thank you, students. You may be seated. The next group of students we would like to recognize are our student leaders on campus. Our student ambassadors are one of the highest honors that you can receive. These students are the face of Thrive at every event and have done an amazing job representing the school and leaving their lasting mark on our younger students. This group is very near and dear to my heart because they will do absolutely anything I ask them at any given moment. Will the following students please stand? Ron Bell, also our SGA president. Kia Brown. Isaiah Conrad. Jalen Davis, also our senior class president. Brandon Ray and Reginald Williams. Students, thank you. Please be seated. Lastly, I will be presenting the award for Student of the Year. This student understands that the ultimate measure of a person is not their accomplishments nor their mistakes, but rather what they do with them. This student has carved their name on the hearts of everyone in this room and left a legacy that is etched in the minds of others in the stories they share. I will not say too much about this student now, because quite honestly, I'll start crying. And second, he has a beautiful introduction coming shortly. This student was our first ever Student of the Year and will be our Student of the Year again tonight. Ron Bell, please come accept your award for our 5th time Student of the Year. And now, General Dunlap will come forth to present an award to one of our students.
Hi, good evening. MK, would you come forward? So, about 6 years ago now, I went to the Government Street location, and Sarah asked me to speak to the students on Veterans Day about what it means to be a veteran and help them send care packages and cards to some of our overseas troops. I encouraged everybody to look at the military as a possible career, and MK answered the call. And so he's joining the Louisiana National Guard. Are his parents here? Where are your parents? I want to thank the parents for supporting your soldier, and he'll need your support, throughout his military service. Just like all military personnel, we call our parents and our families our secret warriors. They help us do what we have to do, and you'll help him do what he has to do. And MK, I want to let you know that you're joining less than 0.5% of the American people and having the courage to put on a pair of combat boots and defend your country. So thank you. So I want you all to know he's standing perfectly at the position of parade rest. Looks great. So I got some National Guard swag. So this is the coolest t-shirt that the National Guard's ever come out with. I wanted to show everybody. All right? Go Guard. You see? And we got some other stuff in here for you to take home. But nothing as important as my General Officer coin, which signifies excellence. No, we do it by shaking hands. There you go. You got it? All right. Thank you very much, and congratulations, class of 19.
Good evening. Kia Brown is the daughter of Yolanda Brown and granddaughter of Barbara Washington. Kia has attended Thrive Academy since 7th grade. She currently holds a 3.6 grade point average and has been accepted to Southern University, Louisiana State University, Dillard University, Millsap College, Holy Cross, and Southeastern University. Kia currently has earned academic scholarships for Dillard and Millsap College, and in the fall of 2019, Kia will enroll as a freshman at Southeastern University majoring in criminal justice.
Kia currently serves as an ambassador for Thrive Academy and is in the Allied Health Program, completing her certifications for Certified Nursing Assistant and phlebotomy. Kia is also a member of a local ladies club called Ivy Elite, where they participate in events in the community and definitely give back. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause to our 2019 salutatorian, Miss Kia Brown.
Good evening, Thrive family. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong. It learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else ever cared. Tupac Shakur. Ron Jermaine Bell Jr. A son, a brother, a friend, an individual, a leader, compassionate, committed, the rose that grew from concrete. Determined, dedicated to excellence, persistent, a great cook, a real one, extremely intelligent, a man of principle. Ron Jermaine Bell Jr. is the son of Narissa Duncan and Ron Bell. Born May 12, 2001, Ron joined the Thrive Academy family in 2012 as a sixth grader. A now 5-time student of the year, Ron has served as a peer tutor, a member of the debate team and teen court. He is the president of the student ambassadors, captain of the basketball team, and a member of Alpha Mu Psi Youth Fraternity. Ron taught Boudreaux how to fish. He has never been afraid to try new things, especially on those scavenger hunts with Miss Moore. He has engaged in in-depth academic debates about Marvel Comics with JP, Austin, MK, and he ate Jalen Davis' burger and played Donald Trump on the trial in English 3. He spent the last 6 years of his life arguing like an old married couple with our salutatorian Kia Brown, all while they constantly push each other to be better people. Ron was Ms. Brown's first trip to the hospital. In the 6th grade, he cut his hand on a watch running down the hall. Not only did he need stitches, but he also had to see a hand specialist. The thing that stood out the most to Ms. Brown, the fact that he brought his math homework with him so he wouldn't fall behind. Miss Quinn, who taught Ron in the 6th grade, said Ron may have been the smallest 6th grader in history, but he always had the biggest heart. He was a teacher's dream, the first I'd ask a favor for, the cleaner of the guinea pig cage, and the student who could always sense when I was having a bad day. Once, when we was on Thrive's first camping trip, Ron got scared in the middle of the night and came into the teacher's tent to sleep. For the first time ever, I'm admitting that I let him in, because the truth is, it wasn't just me making Ron feel safe. He made me feel better. He made me feel better every single day. For years, I've been watching from afar as he takes care of everyone, mostly Ms. Broom. And I can't wait to see how he'll take care of the rest of the world. I can recall one day last year when Thrive was starting a football team. It was me, Coach Perry, Coach Glover, Coach JP, all grown men mad at Ron Bell, wanting to choke Ron Bell. Because when Ron Bell decided not to come out for spring football, it was about 8 or more senior boys that also decided not to come out for spring football. But the day that Ron decided to come out to practice, we had about 8 other kids also that started the Thrive Academy football team.
Ron is the epitome of who you are when you are greatly gifted. He strives every day to be better than he was the day before. He has defied the odds and continues to set the standard by which those that follow will measure themselves. As James Baldwin said, Ron, you are what time, circumstance, and history have made you, but also so much more than that. Remember, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. You are the change that we seek. In January 2014, Ron was selected as Student of the Month. Right before our morning tea, While discussing the photo with Ms. Moore, Ms. T said, "Ron is what we hope that all Thrive students will be." She often told Ms. Moore she wished she could bottle Ron up so that the entire next generation of Thrive would be like him. His Algebra 1 teacher, Mr. Stephen Crawford, said, "Ron Bell is one of the most polite, well-mannered, well-spoken young men I have ever met. He is a hard worker and very dedicated to his education and to bettering himself, and I just could not say enough good things about him." Ms. Hall, former residential director, said, "When I think of Ron Bell, I think of integrity. He embodies that definition to a T, not just in being honest, trustworthy, and dependable, but in doing the right thing even when it's hard, in not taking shortcuts even when no one is watching, and in striving for the best in all that he does because he understands the impact of his actions. It has been a great privilege of mine to know Ron Bell in the short but critical amount of time our paths cross, and I'm certainly a better educator, social worker, and person because of this encounter. I wish you the best and continued success in all that you do." And of course, Ms. Hall said, "Roll Tide, Ron." His mentor and friend, Emmanuel Boudreaux, says, "Ron continues to be an inspiration. From his commitment to going to church on Sunday, even if it meant he had to walk there and back, to always being a friend to new students. You've never hesitated to push a broken van or hook an alligator. You remain selflessly concerned for others. His words for Ron, your first thought is first for a reason. His AMT brothers define him as a true brother and an asset. Their words for Ron, in life, you have to realize that no one is perfect, and if you carry yourself with dignity, confidence, and self-respect, you will always be in the #1 spot, as you are today." Mr. Jarvis Johnson, his former mentor, teacher, and friend, said, he will never forget fighting with Ron in preparation for his 8th grade valedictorian speech. He says, "Ron, don't ever let your surroundings dictate your path. Your background will never define who you are." Miss Pierce said, "Ron is Ron." She says she'll never forget the day she walked into the unit to find Ron all alone rapping Lil Boosie out the window. To say he was shocked to turn around and see her is an understatement. Her words to Ron, never be afraid to fail, learn, and move on. Dr. Brown, his English teacher, said of Ron, "Even when he is wrong, he will make you believe he is right." He is a man of principle who has never let life and all his stuff beat him. She wants him to always remember he is loved, and he is loved because of who he is. Miss Moore, who has been with him since the beginning, defined Ron as a kid who went from breaking the system to being a man who works within the system. She says, "Always believe in you. Remember who you are and where you came from. Never be afraid of how great you are. I know you will come back and change the world. Know you made me better. Embrace your greatness, and I love you." Ron, it has been our greatest honor and pleasure to watch you grow as a student. I asked you, what keeps you going every day? And you told me, the confidence your grandmother, Miss Linda Bell, instilled in you. It is your goal in this life to live up to everything she believed and knew you would be. Well, Ron, you are doing that. George Washington Carver said, "When you can do the common things of life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world." Ron Bell, you have our attention. heading to Morehouse College with a 3.8 GPA. Ron Jermaine Bell Jr. is the first of the first. It is our honor and our pleasure to introduce to you the first valedictorian of the first graduating class of Thrive Academy, Ron Jermaine Bell Jr.
And now for the moments we have been waiting for, the awarding of our diplomas. Miss Sarah Brum, Executive Director of Thrive Academy, will come at this time. She will be assisted this evening by Ms. London Moore, our principal, and Ms. Shawana Pierce, our residential director. In keeping with beginning tradition during the presentation of the diploma, each student has selected one family member to join him or her on the stage and present the Thrive Academy stool representing the partnership between the school and the family to support each of us on our journey to this graduation. It's time. Parents, graduates, administrative team, please take your places. Ms. Broom will now certify graduation.
Families, this is obviously a very exciting moment. We are about to read the names of our graduates, but please make sure you go wild, celebrate each student, but as they make their way back to their seat, please just slightly quiet down so that we will be able to properly honor the student that follows them. So to start off, we're going to give our parents just a few minutes to make their way around to the stage. Graduating senior of the Thrive Academy, Malik Allen. Graduating senior, Asia Barrett. our 2019 valedictorian, Ron Bell. Our next graduating senior, Isaiah Conrad. Our next graduating senior, Miss Jalen Davis. Our next graduating senior, Miss Angel Harris. Our next graduating senior, Miss Lakeitha Jenkins. Our next graduating senior, Miss Heaven Jones. Our 2019 salutatorian, Miss Kia Brown.
Next 2019 graduate, Mr. R.C. Jones. Mr. Cameron Knighton. Our next 2019 graduate, Mr. Brandon Ray. Our next 2019 graduate, Mr. Marquedrick Reed. Our next 2019 graduate, Miss Brianna Shropshire. Our next 2019 graduate, Mr. Irving Washington.
That's all the presentation, right? That's all the presentation.
How they look, man? Good stuff.
All right, Kevin!
By the state of Louisiana, I now pronounce you graduates of Thrive Academy. Please move your tassels to the left.
We will now have the farewell address by our valedictorian, Ron Bell, followed by the closing by Mrs. Shawana Pierce, Residential Director.
Greetings, family, friends, classmates, and staff. I count it a privilege and honor to stand before you today as the valedictorian of the class of 2019. To our executive director, Ms. Broom, our principal, Ms. Moore, our assistant principals, Ms. Williams and Ms. Wisham, our residential director, Ms. Pierce, and the assistant residential directors, Mr. Harrison and Mr. Minor, thank you for this opportunity as well. We are finally here at this momentous occasion. I never thought this day would come. I've always imagined it as something very far off in my mind. So I must say that I'm extremely delighted to be here today. There's no way for me to fully sum up in just a few minutes our experiences here at Thrive. Remember those first days of Old Thrive on Government Street? Those fun times in Mr. Regano's class, who are all still holding dear in our hearts today? What a transition. It was definitely one of the most challenging yet rewarding transitions of my life. From living away from home as a sixth grader to getting to know these great group of scholars I now call my family, tested me in many ways, emotionally, academically, socially, and physically. We're all so used to being at the top of our respective classes and having everything come so easy for us. Then all of a sudden, we are thrust into a new school with new people in a part of a city where we're not completely comfortable. I remember coming home after that first week of school crying to my marvelous mother. I remember telling her, I really don't think I could do this. I don't want to come back. Certainly this was the case for so many of our classmates and their parents. However, just look where we are today, class. Graduation day. Middle school and freshman year at Old Thrive are some times that I would never forget. From that basketball dream team in 8th grade to playing football in that field. We also can't forget about going to Wags to get those burgers and to the snowball stand for those wedding cake snowballs, right? Rest in peace, Old Thrive. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say we will never forget you. Transitioning to New Thrive on Brightside was a totally different experience. We were finally starting to see the fruits of Ms. Broom's labor with the opening of our new campus. This move was hard for all of us. Those days of moving furniture from Government to Brightside were long and hot. Mr. Bujo, you can vouch for me on that, right? Our first year on the new campus was challenging because of the limited amount of space. Our teachers were forced to teach in small classrooms, and our coaches had to deal with having no designated facility for us to practice. Although it was tough, we appreciated and cherished everything what we had. I learned that you could do so much with so little. I want to thank the athletic director, Mr. Perry, my coaches, all of them, basketball and football, my teachers and administration for enduring those problems we had and making it work. There are so many people who I would like to acknowledge who successfully pushed me through high school. It would literally be impossible for me to name them all. But for my younger brothers and sisters, I will leave you with this quote for your journey through high school. So that means Nate, Trey, and Junior, I'm gonna need y'all to listen up and hear me well, okay? And I know y'all probably sick of me saying this, but there was once a rose that grew from concrete. Throughout this journey, you will find yourself in unfamiliar environments. You will be assessed with numerous assignments and projects. Some days you may grasp the material easily, and others you will be completely confused. But I'm here to tell you, don't be afraid to be confused. Lean on your brother or sister for help. Go to tutoring, get involved in your community, and pick up those books. Find ways to better yourself in any way, shape, or form. In these situations, you will be forced to learn, adapt, and grow to be the greatest version of yourself. You too can be like that rose that grew from concrete. This early realization was established for me when I was extended and then accepted membership into the Brotherhood of Alpha Mu Tau Youth Fraternity. My brothers instilled this lesson in me when I was young and confused, and for that, I want to thank them. I also have to thank my mentor, Mr. Jarvis Johnson, for recommending me to this brotherhood, and for that, I'm truly grateful, Mr. Johnson. I would like to thank this amazing staff that we have here at Thrive. I would literally not be in this position today if not for you all. The relationships I've made with the staff here would have been impossible to make at any other school. Some days were challenging, like when Mr. Bouja and Big Ron were dragging me out of bed every morning, while others were very satisfying, like when Mr. Joe and Mr. Charles couldn't accept defeat from me and Muhammad on that spades table. My mentors have guided me through so many of my rough times. Mr. Joe once told me, "Man, LeRon, you're going to be fine, dog. You got to keep pushing. You act like the sun going to be shining all the time." I say, "You know what, Mr. Joe? You right. Now play your card so I can take this book." I've learned so many valuable lessons from my mentors that will aid me in my unpredictable future. I couldn't have asked for any better mentors than those men. I really appreciate the young man that you all have helped mold and shape me into. You all hold a special place in my heart. To all of my classmates, you all have challenged me in every way imaginable. Those days of going back and forth with Kia in class about who could get the better scores are moments I would never forget. We motivated each other to do better and never settle. There are so many other memories that my peers and I have established amongst each other, and I'm completely sure that me and Reggie drove both of our mothers crazy. From wanting to go to the gym or a party almost every weekend, but it was worth it, huh, Mom? As we embark on our new journeys, I want my classmates to understand that the pain you feel today will be your strength tomorrow. At times, it may have seemed that the things that our teachers and mentors were doing were unbearable, but look at us now, thrives and argues graduating class. Certainly, all of that pain and stress has increased our strength and endurance for the journey ahead. In doing so, they have ensured that we have the tools to become once again the greatest versions of ourselves. Throughout my time here at Thrive, I have achieved several honors, including 4-time Student of the Year, Student Ambassador President, Student Council President, Basketball Team Captain, Student Athlete of the Year, Student Debate Team President, a proud member of Alpha Mu Tau Youth Fraternity, and LSU Rehounds representative, and now Thrive Academy's first valedictorian. To some, these are just a bunch of accolades, but for me, they are symbols of growth. I look forward to attending and ultimately matriculating through college. To all of my family and friends gathered here today, my sweet grandmother above, administration, and the Thrive Academy staff, I promise you I love you all. I would not have made it this far without your love and guidance. Thrive Academy and the class of 2019 continue to hold these memories at the epicenter of everything that you do. And if anyone ever questions your strength and resilience in times of adversity, leave them with this thought. In the words of my favorite artist, you don't know our struggle, so you can't feel our hustle. You truly don't know what we've been through. Turn up, class of 2019. History has been made. We did it. I bid you farewell until our paths cross again. Once again, I love you all, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Bell, for those wonderful words. We've now reached the culmination of our ceremonies. At this time, I'd like to say hats off to you graduates. You did it. I want you to remember that success is a journey, not a destination, and we can't wait to see where your journey takes you from here. To our guests, thank you for supporting our schools, thank you for supporting our graduates, and thank you for coming on out tonight. This will be the order of the closing. We will ask all of our guests to please allow our graduates to have their processional out, and we will take a picture outside. We're going to ask all of our guests to remain seated as we allow our current Thrive students to please exit and get on the bus. And then we will return to you so that you can fellowship and take pictures with the graduating class after they've taken their pictures outside. Thank you.
I am the best version of myself, that I love my community and I lead by example. I am growing every day because I am strong. We are Thrive Bulldogs Roof.
Everyone, please rise for the benediction, then remain standing for the recessional. All right. Lord God, I ask for you to watch over us as we move on into this next chapter. Bless our lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help us stay true to ourselves and to use our gifts wisely and to walk a path of hope and love. In your name we say, amen.